Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Why, as I live and breathe, John, what do you need from me? Podcasts, lots of podcasts. Somebody get this man Dave and one more time. Will that do you, John? Yeah.
And 3,
Number 2.
followed by 1.
Woo!
Yes, America, America. Looking
are
you
you?
in the... That's right. How you doing, America? We okay. How about you?
All right.
Yeah.
They all right.
Let's just start off. As you know, you are
You're welcome, man.
welcome. Flat out welcome. You made it back. Didn't melt yet.
Didn't know. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
been, they're getting close. Getting close.
That's
man.
right. Welcome to two old guys talking about the weather. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. Doing this one on a Sunday afternoon. Again, nobody cares, but we do.
Yeah. I got up and went to brunch this morning.
I
so-
was about to ask if that was a church shirt you were wearing or
No, my daughter turned 16 a couple of days ago, so she invited a group of girls to go to brunch. So we did all that, and I had this on, but I had my little, I guess you call them slides, I call them flip-flops or whatever on, and she let me know before we left that my shoes were really dressing down my outfit.
your
And I
shoes
said,
were dressing
yeah,
down
my
your
choice of
ass.
shoes were, and I said, well, first of all, I don't wear outfits.
Yeah, well,
And
outfit,
so,
costume. What do you want?
yeah,
Costume?
I don't know. So I changed shoes.
Well, your
Yeah.
daughter's shoe checking you, huh?
Yeah, well, then they were fussing. It's time to go. I said, well, hell, I'm changing my shoes.
Well, where'd you go have brunch?
At a place called Spoken Hub, like Spoke, not Spoken. Like
Okay.
I don't know, it's an old bicycle type. I don't know. That's the theme. I can't figure out why.
Is it a fancy
Uh,
fun place?
No, it's nice. I mean, the
Were your slides inappropriate? Would your slides have not? Did
I
you
don't know.
do?
I didn't
Listen.
look around.
Oh, you see, I can't believe you didn't. See, if I'd have got checked on something like that, the first and only thing I'd have been doing is looking around saying, You see? I got you. Of course, I gotta watch. That's a bad. I don't think I have that habit so much as my son, one of my sons, younger son, has lived his life by that. Man, you can't call him on anything. He'll point somebody else doing worse. Right? I mean,
Well, there you go. It's I want to say you've lived with me for 16 years and suddenly you think I care.
yeah, I'll throw that out at my son saying, bro, is that what you're gonna wear to what is? Have you ever seen? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking for a breakdown of how society has fallen apart and
Right.
nobody's concerned about what they're wearing. And well, point in hand. So I'm in my yesterday again, hot freaking day, middle of the afternoon. Made a run to HEB and to Sam's. Went to my
Your
Sam's,
staples.
my Staples, right? Got in there and there's this. I guess it's a website or a meme, whatever, the people of Walmart. That's been a pretty
Uh-huh.
famous thing over time and some of the funnier, crazier things you see in a Walmart. But, Sam's is the same company. So you would think Sam's would be the more, I'm going to
It's a
say,
little not a bougie Walmart, but I would
no,
think
it's
a
not
little.
bougie. No, it's, but you
You got-
get a club,
You gotta
right?
pay. Yeah.
You got to pay for the privilege of buying big volume. So I'm again, it's 100 and I don't know. Yesterday, I think it was 104, 105. Oh yeah, as we speak a little bit later on today. They're calling 107 today. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody left the oven on. That's all I can say.
I don't want to wish for a hurricane, but I'm close.
No, we got. We're getting diverted here, but we've got hopefully some kind of the
Yeah.
tropical depression a little bit coming next. Again, we're going to talk about the weather, whether you like it or not, America. We're just
But
begging
back to
for some,
Sam's. You're at
begging for some
Sam's.
rain, and I'm walking out right, and I look ahead of me, and this dude, it's like a joke. Guy's wearing flannel pajama bottoms, just and at first I thought, well, maybe, and I took a picture. I will throw those of you that are watching in the video. I will throw the picture up here. I'm from a little bit of a distance. I'm thinking, oh, those are some ugly pants, but I mean, to each his own. Who wears big, loud plaid pants like that? And when I got up there, I realized, oh no, the dude's just he's rocking the pajama pants. And I guess we shouldn't judge, but I guess I do. Where are you unless you're Hugh Hefner, right? And he's not alive anymore. Like what you got going on in your world?
How old a fella?
I'm gonna guess in his 40s, 30s.
Yeah,
40s.
okay, so not like a college kid.
No. And he's at Sam's. I didn't want to look in what was in his basket, but yeah. But my head just starts going like I almost wanted to follow him home. Like just say like I want to like maybe he pulls into this freaking mansion and I'm like, well, okay,
Yeah, it's always loungewear when you're that guy.
I don't know, maybe it's a religious thing, maybe Sundays or cash day. I don't know. I don't know but like the other thing I'm thinking, bruh, it's 105 degrees.
Yeah.
You got on flannel pajama pants. That ain't well, people are Sam's. There you go. The other thing, I don't know. Maybe I watch the wrong movies or TV shows or go to the wrong websites, but I find myself when I'm out in public, if I don't bring my own protection, right? If I'm not carrying, I will find myself looking around thinking, okay, if it goes down right now.
Who are you teaming up with?
No, not so much who I'm teaming up with, but what can I grab as a weapon? Right? I mean, I'm always doing. I mean, I kid you not. If I'm in the store,
where's the garden and tool center?
Man, listen, I go down aisles. I'm like, well, I guess I'll grab that olive oil bottle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a healthy way to be, America. I'm just saying you got to understand that's how my head's working more often than not. If I'm just looking. Well, what they did at Sam's, this makes no sense to me, and I will bet you this that within a year they got to get rid of these things. So, big, it's Texas, it's hot. They plant trees out in the parking lot. They plant them decent size, right? Then you always have like not a real flower bed, but around the trees you got to have a thing of, I guess, dirt.
Right, you got to have something to hold some water.
To water these things. So I don't know how much money they just spent. They came in and they redid these things and they put like artificial turf over a part of it and then rocks, but not like pebbles. I mean rocks, like the size of a baseball.
Yeah,
kind of rocks. All and I'm sorry, I'm just okay.
That's what you grab.
You feeling? No, but my thing is, you feeling like breaking into a car and you don't quite have something to break the window?
Right.
Here you go.
Right. You could tap a side glass with that without even throwing it and break.
Man, and exactly. You mad at somebody? You want to mess up a car?
Parked a little close to you.
I'm sorry. I don't know why the first thing I thought of was like, what idiot decided, it'd be a good idea.
That's because growing up, you probably threw rocks at people just for fun.
I felt like picking up one and throwing it just because, you know what I'm saying? Because again, we talked about this. Growing up in South Louisiana, dude, we didn't have rocks. There were no rocks. You didn't find a rock in your yard. If you found a rock in your yard, you brought that from your trip to Arkansas last summer. That's about right. Nobody had freaking.
I still think they got some of those rocks in the shed at my dad's house.
Oh, you better believe it, man. And look, anybody who grew up in South Louisiana, Alport, South Lafourche, or I'm not sure in the hill country where you grew up in Pankerville, but I guarantee you, down on Bayou Lafourche right now. Anybody who's Bayou Lafourche watching this right now, hey, hit pause. Go out in the backyard with a shovel. Dig until you hit a rock. You know what? we'll have another episode recorded by the time you hit rock. Okay.
We
Not
had
gonna
rocks.
happen.
Y'all had to have rocks like on the side of the road, like the shoulder.
That don't count. It was mostly shells. It was like oyster
Yeah.
shells. Yeah, that ain't rocks. That's that. So that was the exact. That was our.
Yeah, we had gravel.
We didn't have gravel. We didn't have gravel streets. We had like clamshells, not clamshells, whatever.
Oyster shells. Yeah.
Yeah, but the little ones, no, the oyster shells were like dead.
Oh wow, the little baby one, like what you get on the beach and stuff.
They're white, yeah, but they're thicker. I can't now. Somebody, okay,
mussels.
Might have been, but that was what they put down on our streets. Because oyster shells are bad news, man.
Dude, you can't go out barefoot with that.
No. So there you go. So when we were kids, yeah, you throw nothing like, you want to rock. Well, that's still in my head. I'm 58 years old, man. I'm walking into Sam's yesterday going, ooh, man, I could hum some rocks here, man. Be out here just chunking rocks in the parking lot.
Well, you're talking about safety and self-protection. Did you hear the latest safety effort that they're proposing in Chicago?
I would probably think the safest thing in Chicago would be to move.
Well, this is the next closest thing. It's kind of like, it might have been inspired by the U2 song "All Is Quiet on New Year's Day," because they're asking the gangs to just chill between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.
You serious?
Yeah.
That's that. Hang on a second. I just asked.
Yeah, I know what you said.
You know what I said? Those of you that have been watching the Dave and Juan podcast for 120 something episodes know that when I say certain syllables, my SRI, this fine Apple computer I use to decide I need help. But so who's asking them to chill?
I think it's the mayor or somebody on city council. Just trying to keep the killing till between 9 and 9.
Well, aren't they probably sleeping in by then? I mean, that's
yeah. Well, could be the first shift.
Yeah, might be, but yeah, let's go with that. Let's see what happens. What happens there?
As long as they ask nice, I'm sure it'll work.
Well, they had this guy here in Houston this past week, and again, I don't have I forget all the details of it, but this guy was shooting cops. He shot like three.
I saw that.
Yeah, like at some and that's the thing that this has people. Besides the fact that that's just infuriating. Well, it's a guy that had been paroled. Like it's beyond.
Yeah, probably recently for something similar.
It's beyond insanity that you say what you want, but like when you get put away for something like violence, okay, and they let you out on nothing, and then this guy, I feel for the cop, but and shout out to the cops, by the way. And I don't know, man. Listen, I know, and I'm not encouraging violence, y'all. But if I'm on the police force, right, we got this guy, okay, we got the beat on where this guy is, and he's already shot 3 cops, and I think one of them. I'm not
gonna be number 4.
You think
not,
this
not
guy?
Quietly.
And they show him bringing him in, and this, man, and I gotta think that most of society would have been like, yeah. Probable cause. I don't care,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Door slipped open at 80.
Many times, but so yeah, but yeah, Houston, we got interesting. Like our judge, and we talked about this before all the pandemic shutdowns and all the nonsense and all the things they did. Most of us never realized that. We never thought about who's the judge. Judges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You thought of a judge as being, all right, you go to court and that's the judge, but no, like the county judges.
Yeah.
And we just kind of went, who are
the guys
these clowns?
who let the local guys out?
Who are these clowns? Well, in this case, is they get to run a lot of stuff, and like here, but the county judge in Houston, I guess in Harris, she's on a sabbatical for depression.
Oh well.
I mean, like, is that the new go-to move? Like.
So they're just a substitute judge, or
I have no idea.
I don't got a long list.
I don't even know how that works. But because I guess that's the go-to move now, because there are other things, there are investigations going on, and there's some, you know, there's some accusations of some shady stuff going on, but all of a sudden I'm
And
depressed.
I'm sure that's a
I'm
paid
tapping.
sabbatical.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's let me tell you something right now. Now I do my own gig now, so I can't have to fire myself, or, it's kind of tough to do. But man, if I ever find myself in a position where all I
Right.
got to do is tap out and say, "Hey,
I'm depressed.
I'm depressed."
This job is depressing me. I'd like to quit, but
But I
instead,
can't. That's right.
I want to just take a sabbatical
I like the checks more than I hate the job. So luckily for me, I found a loophole.
where I
But
can get one without doing the other.
there you go. There you go. So wish her all the best.
Yeah,
I don't okay. I don't want to do my job. I don't feel like doing my job for a couple of months.
yeah, that
So
would be sweet.
y'all feel sorry for me. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, keep on paying me. Give me a little extra so I could go to a place like some resort to treat my depression.
I'm gonna go wear plaid pajama bottoms in Sam's. Is what I'm gonna do. We're sort of jumping around, but news wise, and again, sort of time stamping what's going on. Been watching Maui, right? What's
Oh Lord, yeah.
okay? So, man, listen, I've got a very high threshold for conspiracies. I do. I'm all for it. What's the line? It's not my line. It's not an original line, but it's true. I need new conspiracy theories because all my old ones came true.
Have come true.
Okay. Seriously, you can't even, we're at a point now, y'all, where our own government is coming out and saying, we got proof of aliens and spaceships. And one guy's even saying, yeah, we recovered a body. And we're so burnt out that America's like, I don't care. Don't care.
Let me tell you something. If there's aliens and I could have gone someplace and stayed, skinny and had hair, and I've been fighting this all my life, I'm gonna be ticked off.
I don't even know what you just said.
But back to Maui. What's your conspiracy theory about Maui?
Well, listen, a couple of things going on. And again, hey, if I'm wrong, it's not because I'm trying to lie, it's because I'm wrong, but I've been reading some things. They just basically passed some laws recently, like within the last few months, that the government can purchase lands of, and I don't know how it's worded, whether it's devastated lands or whatever, but
Natural disaster stricken.
because that's the move now. The move now, because the mayor even came out and said something about the city buying up some of these. So, yes,
Wow.
yes, and other people, the bigger conspiracies are coming down talking about how these fires start again. And
yeah, and they said like the power company refused to turn or whatever. They should have shut the power down.
the other one was the who's the cat, the emergency guy didn't sound the alarms. He had the call, did not sound any. You've got fire. Again, you just step, because I miss the good old days when bad stuff, if it happened, you went, oh man. Or we kind of just chalk stuff up to, it's usually easy to just chalk it up to incompetence. Because understand
Right.
this, y'all. Understand this. Having worked in the periphery of public service, right? We ain't got the best and brightest. Okay. This is not.
Well, why didn't the guy sound the alarm?
Man, I don't even remember. It's like, I think he said, hey, well, first of all, it's a lie. That's the other thing. Anytime he quit, by the way, like a day or two later. Okay.
On sabbatical.
He probably is depressed. He's probably depressed. He's probably wearing flannel pajama bottoms at the Maui Sam's right now. But yeah, I think he said, well, because it's supposed to be for fires, tsunamis, and I forget what else. And it's the kind of excuse they come out with 2 days later, when you got to sit around and do some troubleshooting, like, man, we got to come up with some kind of BS story that sounds like it might be. So he's trying to say that, oh, they were afraid that if they sounded that alarm, people would think it's a tsunami and they would run away from the water to the hills where the fire was. And my point is, they can see the fire, bro. Like, if they actually get out of their houses.
Are they dogs? I mean, and the sound just triggers them to go. I would think if I heard the alarm before I just took off running, I'd find out what the alarm had to do with.
You think maybe? So all this other stuff, but okay, so the incredible, I mean, it's so sad because there's they already said there's 100 something they know they've identified. There's over 1,000 people missing. There's over 1,000 people missing. And guys, if they're missing at this point, no, it's either they were out in the ocean forever. And they said the thing about it was the winds were 50, 60 miles an hour.
So people went in the ocean to avoid the fire?
A lot of, that's all they could do. And then a lot of people tried to get out in their cars, and that they just incinerated the cars, and just really tragic stuff. And then you get the real deep conspiracy stuff. And the best place to find conspiracy stuff is in the bathroom of a pub, above the urinal. I captured this one here in my favorite little pub here in town. And there's I'll put the thing up there, but there's above one of the urinals, it's help Maui, buy a beer or donate below. All proceeds of Maui beer will go to Maui Strong. I don't know. So like it's a Maui,
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. But then somebody in ink pen wrote, like, well, if you're up there close enough to read, and says, research direct energy weapons. So as I stand there doing my business at the pub last week,
research,
I was like, I might need to research direct energy weapons to see. I know they exist. I mean, you've heard of these?
No.
Oh yeah, man. They got lasers that they can just set stuff on fire, bro. They can. I mean, yeah. Well, there are weapons out there that if you give crazy people enough money and labs to do stuff, right? I mean, heck, they busted that one in California. Was about a month ago now. This, and it was basically it's a lab, like in a warehouse with monkeys in it, with and it was like a Chinese based apparently. They found them doing experiments and stuff in there, man. It was like, I don't know.
Too much people got too much time, too much money, too much,
But thank God the football season's about to start. Thank God the football season's about to start, Juan. So I got a buddy that we text all the time, and he has fun with that. We'll send each other various, not even conspiracy theory stuff. It's just stories that, like, you wonder, how does the world not know this? Like, stuff that comes out where it's factual, you can check it, but nobody talks about it. Nobody, all the things we just sort of forget about. Like the dude that drowned in the pond the other day. Remember that guy?
Yeah, surfboard guy.
Yeah, never heard from again. Various manifestos that we know were discovered that we never get to see.
School killer one.
Oh yeah, all that stuff. Like, well, I'm sorry. Hey, it's confidential, bro. Confidential. Can't. So there you go. And the other one that just is blowing my mind is, so we got a presidential election going on right now, guys. That is the nuttiest thing I'm glad I'm here to see it, because you will never be able to believe it in the future, because the more I look at history books and the more I realize, and when I say history, I'm not just talking about like, okay, for a fact, whatever was written about the forefathers and then around like Lincoln's time, you flat out know these days a lot of that stuff is fiction, because we seeing like, oh, people just make crap up, because we have stories happening. We have stories happening 2 weeks ago that the story's already changed on, that people are right. So I'm looking, when I say history, I'm talking about just going back like to the 70s and 80s, stuff we lived through that you look at now and go, oh, that was a lie too. Wait a minute. That was a lie too. But we've got this presidential campaign going on now. And so you got the two leading candidates that, if you listen to the polls, nobody wants to run. Like, it's weird. It's like, and then on
they're both leading. It's the oddest thing in the world.
Well, one's leading because,
he's
for whatever
running.
Well, no, you see, well, we say so. Right now, we have,
Uh,
right now as we do this
yeah,
time, it's President Biden is in there, and you've got, I think, a
got
compelling
RFK.
guy. Uh, And you know what? Every time that guy's on anything, people
Yeah,
come off saying, "I kind of like what he has to say," but you
yeah,
notice
I'd consider it.
you can't find him. Like nobody, like where's Waldo? You can't find a guy. Like you literally have to go searching to find the places this guy. So that's shut down, but that's what they do.
Right. Well, he went on Joe Rogan, which totally marginalized him or minimalized him in anybody's eyes, because why would you go on a show like that that has more listeners than
in
anything
the world? The biggest, literally has more listeners than all the networks combined. Oh, and on a format that lets you actually talk.
Right.
Basically, okay. So they got that. Now on the other side, we got we got our guy, about Trump's out there, and they indicting him on. I mean, like they're just I throwing stuff like, I don't know. You lose count of how many they're going to throw, and every time they do, his poll numbers go up.
That's but oddly, what they forget about is the things that they're indicting him on for challenging the validity of an election.
Yeah.
Half of the people on the other side challenged his election for 4 years.
It doesn't really matter. That's the interesting thing. That's the only thing that I get annoyed by. And look, my thing is always, again, a pox on all their houses.
All right.
If you put in front of, and even guys I like, even some politicians, I got a couple of them on my phone. I can text my representative right now. Know the guy. Okay. If you gave us the option of getting rid of all of them and just doing random lottery picks, we'd do it.
I'd go for that. Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Nothing personal, y'all, because guess what? Any of y'all that have been there more than 10 years, you're rich anyway, right? You guys have all played the game. But get them all, man. Just, okay, let's start this new. But what's amazing to me is that, so you got DeSantis in Florida. By most contentions, the most popular governor in the country.
Right.
Like when you look at when they poll, not just nationwide, but when they poll state by state, the most popular governor,
right. And a governor who, by most accounts, other than from the people who choose to despise him,
right,
pretty successful.
Okay, so you would think that is right. He can't. He's down 40 points. We're talking LSU against
Nichols.
I think Nichols would give LSU a better game than
DeSantis
is giving Trump. But
the guy whose name you can't say though is coming up. So
Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a guy. He's a young. He's smart. You'll see. Very, 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 very wealthy guy. He's a independently. I don't know what his companies are and stuff like that. But I compare it, and it's the weird thing to me. I watch it, and I remember growing up watching like the King Kong movies and Godzilla, like on Channel 8 out in New Orleans.
Channel 8 out in New Orleans, man. Sunday mornings after church.
We used to watch, and I remember I used to like Abbott and Costello played on one channel in the morning, and then you'd have they play a King. And I don't forget how many different movies it happened in, but I know in one of them, lightning struck like King Kong or something, and it woke him up. Like that was the, like the lightning made him stronger. They may even have said that in the movie.
He became the Hulk.
Whatever happened, that's sort of what it looks like with Trump with this. The more stuff they throw at him, man, it's like freaking King Kong. Like, now I'm up by 40. So much so that they're gonna have a debate next week. He ain't even going.
He's not even gonna go.
He's gonna go do an interview with Tucker. Online. That's just, so we're living in some interesting times, yo. Interesting times.
It'll be I don't think elections will ever be the same again.
Oh, get ready, y'all. And listen, if we're wrong, we're wrong. It's not because we're lying. It's because we may be wrong. But the other rumors that are coming out now, because apparently some whistleblowers come out of meetings and stuff and start talking. They want us to start wearing masks again. They're going to try to start pushing masks in airports and stuff. Man,
Since it
It's
worked so well the first time, that we're gonna
you
forget about the fact that they came out and said, well, second thought, that didn't really work.
Yeah, or just like 2 weeks ago when they said the stuff, that medicine that starts with I and ends with vermectin, that all of a sudden they're saying, come to find out, yeah, that stuff kind of works. Go ahead, and you. Sorry about that. Sorry about in the teeth of 2 years of all this that we didn't let you, but so. One, I'm getting closer and closer to having to run, man. I can't be doing
Well,
worse than some of the GOP. Like they got some names that are popping up that are running for president. I'm like, well, hell, I'm gonna run too. I mean, why not?
well, this is what I'm gonna tell you. When I guess it was 2006, was it 16 when Bobby Jindal ran for president?
Oh, that
Bobby
guy,
Jindal, former governor of Louisiana. When
man,
he dropped out, he was only a half a percentage point ahead of me.
that's a whatever happened to him?
I don't know. Don't know.
I mean, I'm sure
He
they
was
all
a
take.
whiz, man. And then
He
he
just
just went off the dumb end.
he just never had. Well, he got sacrificed to. He did that
The
rebuttal,
rebuttal,
and
State of the
he
Union rebuttal,
looked
and
like a
looked like
child. Yeah, I mean, that was one of his worst moments, and he did
yeah.
it. It was sort of one of those like everybody's like, "Oh, the governor of Louisiana," or and then he got on there, and we're just like, "What the?"
Yeah,
And,
and then I think to get noticed, he had to take like the most ultra conservative stances on anything and everything that
and I think his performance and his I think it was so bad it changed the way they looked at those things. So now most times when they do the rebuttal, they'll have an audience there. So they'll have the person giving the rebuttal standing in front of a group to make it at least because you get the president that gets up there
right,
and on whatever side and they get to tell their lies and they lie
right.
both sides lies.
But people
Hey,
interact and
that's right. Both sides get up there. They're going to be telling 25 to 35% of what they tell you is accurate. Most of it's spin and lies, and that's on both sides. Both sides do it. Whenever the president, and it's always the game of what side stands up, what side. But you got that all the gravitas of that happening,
mm-hmm.
and then they cut away to whoever's the party not in power, and some of y'all standing by themselves. Hello,
reading
America.
a teleprompter. Yeah.
Hello, America. Yeah, it doesn't fly.
Doesn't
But now,
sell.
yeah, that's how bad our boy Jindal's.
Yeah, it was not good because I think he was like like sweaty and
I don't. We may be remembering it worse than it was, but it came off bad. It came off.
it wasn't flattering. How about that?
Came off pretty bad. Not about flattering. Because I'm sure I almost went to see him, but then I saw the videos you put. You were at a concert this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw
So
the Counting Crows.
I love their music. Not, I mean, I'm not a. They got a decent sized catalog, I guess. But what was your concert review, man?
I liked it because I liked them, and I've always wanted to see them, and I never had.
Right.
So I enjoyed that. I wish I would have seen them 25 years ago.
Wish you would have seen them when they were good.
Yeah, it's it's odd because Adam Dirt's if I'm saying his last name right, he
Right.
always had those cool dreads, and the dude has dated like some hot women.
Oh, listen, he dated both. Now I'm not saying at the same time, but he dated both Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in their prime. I mean, not that they're not, sorry,
No,
not
but
that they're not prime
he's
now.
got Courtney Cox is in one of their videos.
Correct.
But I'm not going to criticize him for gaining a little weight because so
It happens.
But he lost the dreads and now he's got you can see a little bald spot on his back, of his head. Again, can't criticize him for that. It just takes that aura away.
But you're not the one standing up there, right? That's people. That's tough. And look,
Right.
I will give. We joke, and we said, our boy, Mike, the American Dream, Reno, from Loverboy last week. I mean, it happens. But yeah, that's part of it, right? When you're trying to, right?
Yeah,
you recreate. Now, granted, now here's the deal. I promise you, to these singers, when they were like the stars, when they looked out of the audience was much hotter than it is now too.
Right.
Like,
Man, a lot of big women.
well, man, listen, I don't know that was necessary, Juan, but
Yeah, but it's just an observation. A
just
lot of
an
women there without, just like groups of women there. It was at the Sanger, nice place. So
because
I
it's the
can
kind of
listen-
place they couldn't bring their husbands or boyfriends to. They were like, I ain't going to see the Counting Crows. I mean, that's
right. So the most disappointing thing was that Adam Duritz actually came out and introduced the opening act, which I'm sitting there saying, that's the weirdest, that's odd. Why is he even here this early?
Who was the opening act?
I gotta look. Dashboard Confessionals,
Okay.
who I have heard of, and they had a handful of people there who were there, primarily to see them. They played for an hour.
The warm-up band played for an hour?
Yeah.
God, I hate that. Man,
so I'm sitting there saying, certainly they're gonna play a song or two that I know. I don't recognize them, but I know you got to be like early mid-90s band, I guess. Sounds, kind of a guitar indie, Third Eye Blind type sound.
Right.
But then at one point, the singer says, "All right, we're gonna play this one everybody can sing along to." I said, "All right, here, this is gonna be the one I know." No clue, not a clue. No idea who they were.
That's too long, man. I mean, I'm sorry. Look, I mean, hell, Joan Jett didn't even do an hour. Joan Jett is bad. She's great, man. I mean, when I say bad in a great way, and she did like 35, 40. That's hit after hit after hit after hit.
Right. These guys, the busiest guys on the stage for them, the guitar techs, they switched out. They had 3 guitar players, and they switched out guitars every song.
That's just too much, man. That's wrong.
But no, the Counting Crows played for 2 hours.
That's too long.
That's too long. I enjoyed it. The thing is, for me, what I like about him is his singing style live is as much as he changes a lot of the stuff, and it's almost like he's crafting the story verbally, and you catch a lot of he's a really good lyricist. So you catch a lot of the subtleties in the lyrics, but he can't hit the big notes anymore.
You and I are so freaking different on what we want out of a concert. I don't want you to interpret jack freaking squat. I'll go back to my biggest complaint in the world about Bon freaking Jovi, who I used to be a huge fan of, who now, I mean, I would change. There might be 1 or 2 songs, period, Bon Jovi on the radio if it comes on. I want to hear it like it played on the CD or the album or the whatever. The stuff that we formed our memories. I don't want to hear a ballad of Living on a Prayer. You freak.
No, it's not like that. He just.
Well, I know, but okay, so help me out here. So those of you that aren't familiar with the Counting Crows, so Mr. Jones, that's a big song.
Mr.
Right?
Jones, Round Here was big.
Round Here, yeah. Hey, did they do
Raining in
Accidentally in Love?
December. They did Accidentally in Love, which a lot of people know from Shrek.
Oh man, I see. That's the kind of concert I would actually pay extra if you would just let me in. Like, okay, I want to hear 5 songs. Like that's how I am with weed. Like for me to sit 2 hours takes away from the no. Like I'll pay more. Just play the stuff I want to hear. I'm not.
Yeah, they played a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm real familiar with like their first 3 albums.
I didn't even know they had 3 albums. Okay.
They've sold over 20 million records. So
people used to sell records, man. Tiffany sold a crap load of records.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. None of this stuff, it's like Hootie. Hootie sold a bajillion records.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But the one.
Exactly. It's hard
but I'm saying is I probably knew 60% of the stuff they played.
Okay. This is the Sanger?
At the Sanger. Yeah.
Okay.
But there were also people there, and I sent you a couple pictures who, again, we talked at the beginning of how hot it was. I guess one guy was really trying to, bring back his 90s stuff. This dude had a freaking leather jacket on in the Sanger.
A leather jacket in the Sanger.
Yeah. So I parked on a spot that I probably shouldn't have parked at because it's basically a construction site on the side of the Sanger.
I almost asked you where you parked, Juan. How'd you?
You know where that hotel fell down and killed those people? That
Uh,
construction site. It's fenced off, and that section of the street is blocked off.
Are you
It's right
telling
across
me
the street.
that place is still fenced off?
No, yeah, it's fenced off, but I mean, it's all. I guess they're redoing something with it. It's not the building's not there anymore.
So there's nothing there in the
There's nothing
hotel.
there. So I
Nothing's
just
been rebuilt.
right.
I'm gonna be there in a couple of weeks, so I'm gonna might
Yes.
not be there, but I'll be in New
But if
Orleans
you
in a
got to
couple
go
of
to the
weeks.
Sanger, you just kind of pull up at the median and you go, it's 20 yards up the street that's blocked off, and you park right there. Walk straight out the side door and leave. So that's where I parked because it was
Juan
hot.
parking like a boss.
Yeah, and then I thought about buying a shirt because since I didn't have to pay to park. Yeah, sweatshirts were $80,
Man,
even for the opening act. But then the biggest turnoff about that was they put it like in a little plastic Walmart bag. And I said, "Oh, bro, I'm not paying that kind of money for a shirt, and you're not gonna put it in a better bag than that."
put it in a bag. We buy
Um,
most of the time. You buy shirt. Well, that's how the finances, the economics of music have changed. They
yeah.
don't they don't make money on music anymore. They don't make
Mm-hmm.
they
All
used to
right, it's
sell
all on the
albums.
tour now. It's the total
It's
opposite.
all on tour, and you get these bands that have that demographic, that typically have expendable income,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right? Although I shouldn't say that, it looks like everybody's got expendable income. I mean, no, I'm serious. Like my younger son. Now, granted, maybe it's just him. Like that guy, what's one of the lines I've used? Every dad's dream is to have the lifestyle of his wife and kids, right? Yeah, they'll pay $60-$70 for a t-shirt or whatever,
No, I'm
yeah,
not doing that. T-shirts for 40, and I wasn't spending that. So,
because
but
then
there
you
are
got to say,
also people who this blows me away. This girl on the side of us who was there by herself, and if you ever, I sent you pictures of her too. Which is tough to take a picture of somebody sitting on the side of you
I do it
without
all
them
the
noticing.
time. I make it look like
Um,
I'm looking at my phone and I go
oh,
click.
I'm taking a selfie.
That's right.
Um, if you ever watch Criminal Minds, there was this girl on there, Penelope, who dressed real weird and looked real weird. She looked like that.
Okay.
Um, but she had a purse that was like a big old flower. And then in between bands, I was watching her try to post something, and she has her type so blown up I could see it.
You are paying attention, man.
Yeah, and she was struggling to spell obnoxious. She kept trying to spell it with an A, and the fact that I knew how to spell obnoxious was a whole nother conversation because I don't know how I knew how to spell it.
You would never lean over and say, "Hey, lady, it's an O. Starts with an
Okay, I
O."
wanted to, but my wife said, "Shut up, you can't do that."
Spell
It
check
wouldn't
can't even
find it. It
help
wouldn't
you.
find it. So to the
Spell
point
check
where
can't help you.
she just chose another word after like
That's why
10
the
tries.
iPhone tells you you are too stupid to use
Yeah.
whatever word you're trying to use here, unless she's
But
trying
she
to say
left in the
obnoxious.
yeah, she left in the middle.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, concerts. I've probably gone to more concerts this year than I have in a bit. I'm about concerted out. I'm about like, right.
I'm going to another one next week.
What do you want to see?
I'm going to see Brandon Lake, who's a guy you have never heard of, but
I was about to say,
your wife's heard of him.
I'm sure she has.
He's a good
I'm
Christian rock guy.
Like Hank Hill on King of the Hill. Christian rock doesn't make it makes everything worse.
No, man, he's good.
Christian rock.
Tatted up, long braided hair.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, but he ain't like our guy. Who's our redheaded guy? I forget his name now. Oh, Richmond, north of Richmond. We talked about him all last week.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name.
Guy's still blowing up, man. Still number one.
He said he passed. I didn't read the article, but I've seen something. He passed up $8 million from record companies.
He passed up $8 million from.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He might be talented,
Whew,
but he ain't real smart.
I'd be drug testing him real quick if that was if that's legitimately like, hey, bro, selling out's okay. Selling out means you
No.
got something worth. Of course, I did read somebody that said if he was on a record label, they never would release that song
Oh no, no,
because it's
no.
so right. It's that's everything's so controlled now. But
Yeah, they
you know,
no, that wouldn't. You're right. The
you
But because we posted that, I got worried because we use that on the thumbnail photo and the for
right.
those who watch on YouTube. And we got a notice this week, or it came, yeah, from Meta Business Support
Hello,
to
Meta.
the Facebook page, and it says your page has been disabled.
Really?
Um, uh, let's see, it's using someone else's fake name, photo, content that misleads other users. We've warned you in the past that if you continue to post content on your page that infringes on someone else's intellectual property, your page will be disabled. And so I'm reading this. I said, damn it, Dave keeps putting all those concert videos at the beginning of the video. So I thought we were like copyright infringer stuff.
Eh,
But then I clicked on the link and I was at work. And it basically, said, spyware, spam site, do not go any further. It wouldn't even log into it for work.
Oh,
So
okay. So you were being fished. You're being
yeah, yeah,
there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird on that. I think the times have changed, right? Yeah, you get clips everywhere. You know, I mean, it's
yeah,
you know, it's yeah. We're a news site, Juan.
exactly,
We
exactly.
are we are a commentary editorial.
Well, I sent you a picture of a couple of things from our radio station days that
Man,
someone sent
flash
me. The
back, flashback.
And one of the things was the Dave's mailbag,
Forgot about that.
which was kind
Totally.
of kind of a preface to this.
It might have
Yeah,
been.
basically, we would give advice.
And this was on the hot sheet. Those of you,
Yeah,
there might be 50 people listening to this right now that remember we had the KBAU hot sheet. Shout out to Don Graham. He put in some work.
dude, put in some work, some art.
And, going back now, everybody there was misplaced. Everybody, Don should have just been an artist. I mean, that's what he probably loved doing. But Don, and still is an incredibly talented artist. Um, but yeah, the hot sheets,
But
man.
we were also well paid, though.
Yeah, no joke. I'm getting paid jack, but the hot sheet, and I'm looking at it, and it was a guys, it wasn't a trifold, maybe it was a trifold.
It was. Yeah,
it was basically a
I got a
sheet of
couple of
paper.
them.
Yeah, I've got some lying around here. It was a sheet of paper printed on both sides, folded, and pretty good
Mhm.
stuff on there. What I'm looking at is on right above the Dave's mailbag, which I'm going to keep. That's hysterical. Was the concert info, the
Yeah, I
concerts that
didn't
were
look that
coming.
close.
Oh yeah, yeah. So this gives you a flashback to the year. I don't know if it's clear here, but the concert info, Monsters of Rock, on July 2nd. That was in Houston. I don't know why we put Houston concerts there, but Monsters of Rock had Van Halen, Dokken, Metallica, Scorpions, and Kingdom Come.
Well, how could you not have advertised that concert?
Pretty big damn show. That was in so it was in Houston on the 2nd. It was in
Was
Dallas on the
that
3rd.
was that David Lee Roth Van Halen or
No,
no?
that
Yeah, I think. Oh,
was
well, I don't know. That might have been. Was it
here.
Sammy?
Here's why I can tell you it's Sammy, because on the 4th, which is also when Monsters of Rock was whatever, the concert in Biloxi was David Lee Roth with Poison.
Oh, all right.
Now, what I remember about that, I was in Biloxi with a bunch of JCs. We were at whatever the hotel was in Biloxi, and Poison, who was just coming out, they were hitting there. They had the bus, they were staying in our hotel. And
Back then, there probably wasn't a lot of places to stay in Biloxi
no,
for all
no.
the casinos and everything.
So they were the warm-up act for David Lee Roth, and I did miss this one. So we had some friends there who were with us who had some connections at LSU to be on security. I get the guy's name. It was Corey. Corey O, CO. Where you at, Corey? And he called some people, found out, and said, yeah, if you guys want to work security at the Biloxi, you could. Now, we've been in the sun all day, drinking beer all day, and I was having a good time. Didn't particularly want to see David Lee Roth. So I just passed, but a handful of guys went. They gave them yellow security shirts,
Mm-hmm.
and they worked the
Stand there with their back to the stage and look at the people.
And I can remember when they came back, one of the guys there, one of the younger guys who later became a doctor. I'm not going to give his name out because I don't know if that was an official. I don't know if it was an official trip, and I don't know whether or not he was old. Should have been old enough to be there. But he became a doctor, a surgeon. I remember he came back after and said, "Man, they got that flipped. David Lee Roth ought to warm up for Poison."
Boy, yeah. I was gonna say that back when he had the EP and everything. Now maybe he played Van Halen songs. I don't know, but
I don't know, but they said Poison, like it wasn't even close. Yeah, like go home. I mean, Yankee Rose was a good. That was when Yankee Rose was big and all that stuff. But yeah, I was that when I
back
saw
before
that,
Dave had the permanent smile on his face.
That's right, and all the tattoos. The other concerts is kind of funny. That week, concerts were big back then, man. UNO a few days later was Bruce Hornsby in the Range.
Oh wow.
I remember somebody went to that show and said it was amazing. I said Bruce Hornsby.
He lived in Baton Rouge for a while because his son played basketball for LSU and he went to all the games.
I'll be dang. About 2 weeks later, UNO was Rod Stewart.
Ooh, see, that's somebody else I'd like to see.
And then 6 days later at the Audubon Zoo, Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, if I'd have known, huh? Back in the day. Jeez. Some good shows.
We don't get much.
Well, oh, now, yeah. We get
You get a lot in Houston. It's just here. They'll come to Lafayette some, but I guess Biloxi probably gets a lot more.
You get the producers, bro. You get the producers.
We did. You said you stayed at the hotel. We passed up the Clowning Crows on the way home. We passed up the tour buses.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
They were coming here. They were heading. They played down the street. I would have come. And it's funny. I was thinking about possibly, we had some stuff going on yesterday, but I was thinking about, but again, here's the deal, man. Cheapest ticket to go see, like there's empty seats, right? I mean, it's a big place. They come here a big place, but there are seats available. Cheapest seat was like $80.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I paid $75 for mine at the Singer. So
yeah, I'm like, come on now. I'm not gonna pay for me and my wife. I'm not gonna pay $160. Yeah. And I gotta get at least one beer when I'm there. Yeah. That's another 12, 13 times 2 times,
the Singer sells cocktails, but they also sell theater size candy.
Theater size candy.
Yeah. You can get a big old box of Junior Mints.
How much is that?
I don't know. It wasn't that bad because I think maybe like $5-6.
How do you know we're getting old, guys? We talk about the weather. We talk about how much everything. We talk about how much everything costs. Man, that's how they get you, bro. That's how they get you. Yeah, and that's what they gave me for parking here too. And you can't. And there's no abandoned hotel sites to park around over. You gotta.
No, around the Sanger, it's like $40. But then you got to like download the app and all that stuff. How hard is this, man? Just is it
still pretty dangerous that area? I mean,
if you go behind 2 or 3 blocks behind it, it is. It fronts Canal Street, which is getting dangerous. Canal Street.
What you mean getting? I mean, like I haven't been in a year.
But you go a few blocks down North Rampart Street, which is Sanger's on the corner of Rampart and Canal. You don't want to go too far down there.
Yeah, it was always because I remember years ago we had a couple of events at the Ritz-Carlton, and right there on and one of the companies I was with, they gave I don't even know if it was the Ritz-Carlton that told us or somebody involved basically said to all the tourists come in, when you head out that door, don't go right. That was basically the only direction they gave you. Is like, do not go. And it just seemed, even back then, this was over 10 years ago, this particular, where I was just like, I felt bad telling people like, yeah, man, welcome to New Orleans. Love it. It's a beautiful city. Don't go over there.
When we used to go, like when we had Saint season tickets and stuff, that was 20 something years ago. It was like, okay, Rampart was kind of, you might park a couple blocks, close to Rampart, going back towards the Ritz and all that. but you darn sure didn't want to park on Rampart or past it.
Really? Well, last time I was there, like I said, Canal Street was giving me the creeps. Walking by the old Maison Blanche. No, wait. The Ritz Carlton used to be the Maison Blanche, right? I'm pretty sure that's
I think so. Either that or DH
okay.
Holmes.
Okay. What? Yeah, it's true. Okay. Well, you walk back. Where's the place that has the statue of Ignatius? They got the. It's in front of it. The bronze statue of Confederacy of Dunces.
Is that that memorial or whatever?
Our
That
boy
venue?
Spud McConnell. Our boy Spud McConnell played him in a play at one time. Whatever. It's right on Canal. Whatever the I think it used to be a department store. It might still be. Maybe it's a hotel now. I don't know. Dude, sketch. I was walking middle of the day, armed.
Yeah, I hadn't been down
And
Canal Street in a long time to even know what's there anymore.
man, so I'm gonna be. I should be in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna be. Should be if everything goes well. I'm supposed to be at the opening day. I'm gonna be at the Saints.
Oh, cool.
Saints game, but gonna swing by.
But
But
the
I'm
question
flying.
is, will Jimmy Graham be there?
Why? He got hurt?
No, he got arrested
Jimmy Graham got arrested?
in San Diego. I think it's going to be medical reasons, but they said he was wandering down the street Friday night, like just in some strange state, and so they called the cops on him, and then he avoided, like he didn't go peacefully with the police.
Oh, that's a good
It
sign.
was suspected under the influence, but they're saying now they think it was a seizure, or at least that's the Saints doctor saying that.
The Saints doctors that are paid
Yeah.
to I wonder if his contract guaranteed. I guess if it is, you don't give a squat.
I don't know. It's a 1-year deal, so we'll see.
Hey, we would take that.
Yeah.
Pay me a freaking $1 million guaranteed. I'm gonna go get high in San Diego too. Just resist arrest. Come on, man. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, man.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll see if he plays tonight.
Play tonight?
Yeah, they play San Diego. Oddly, the Saints, they play tonight, and then the third preseason game is the Sunday night game too.
Okay. All right. I'll start paying it. Like I said, I should be there opening day. That's when I start paying it. Well, and I think I think our fantasy draft is the week before. So that's Then I'll start. Then we have to start rescheduling when we record our podcast, Juan. Because
we do. Got a lot of noon games. So
America. I'll let you know right now already that Juan's already put the flag out there, going, "Hey, we're gonna have to coordinate our schedule with."
Look, man, I embarrassingly, because I do volunteer stuff at church, and the second service starts at 11:15, and so the Saints have 13 games this season that begin at noon. And I have to block my availability out for all of those games, and I feel terrible.
I'm here to serve the Lord, but dang it, kickoff's coming up.
Right, I'll work at 9:00 service, but if y'all want me to work both, I ain't doing it.
Not gonna happen, yo. I'm going. Hang out with some other Saints. different kind of Saints. All right. Well, man, you know what? What you think?
There it is.
There's a buffet.
Conspiracy theories, concert reviews.
They're turning various things to turn into weapons in a store or in a parking lot. All right.
Don't throw rocks, people. Especially
don't.
if you live in a glass house.
Grass. That's Jimmy Graham. So don't. It all ties in. But there you go. We're gonna push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magical. Well, we don't know. It's
digital cloud.
Somebody else's server, or this computer. I don't know. We just push the button, and hopefully it's there. And we go, oh, all right. Here you go, America. Here's some more stuff. And hopefully Juan's not going to get spammed this week and think that the site is shut down. And
yeah. I had to stop work for like a minute.
I like how you jumped on me.
I'd probably.
I like how you jumped on me. Oh man. It's Dave posting those concerts.
That's exactly. I promise you. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
Oh, hey, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? All right. So, hey, guys, you want to reach us? It ain't hard. It's Dave at Juan at protonmail.com. And
right here.
Yeah.
And a plethora of other digital places in the world.
Would you say we have a plethora? I think we have a
I
plethora.
tell you, bro, a multitude.
This podcast is on stuff that I don't even know it. It's just
We're in a myriad of podcast sites.
woo, myriad. You should have spelled that to the lady that couldn't spell obnoxious.
Mm.
Ma'am, I got a myriad of ways I can spell obnoxious for you.
None of them are correct.
None of them start with A. Just want to. Where'd you go to school, babe? Seriously.
Yeah, the funny part of that is I wanted to make myself a note to talk about that. So I'm doing it on my phone, but I couldn't spell obnoxious.
You couldn't spell them.
I knew
So
it
wait.
began with an O.
Okay, well, at least you started there,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's not. It's.
I got OBNI or NOX, whatever. Once I got the O with the B and the not and the X.
Yeah, shouldn't it be like OBNOX IOUS? Right?
IOUS, I think. Yeah.
Second grade spelling bee right here, bro. Something. I used to be good at spelling bee until now. Well, I mean, but you know, it kind of shows you how the game has stepped up because the words we used to spell, I could probably almost still spell now. The words, if you ever watch the spelling bees now,
Right, man. The competition has stepped up, and I have not.
it's that's right. Like they put the word and they can put the spelling under it, and I can't follow.
Right,
Like,
right. Use it in a sentence, like that's gonna help me.
use it
I've
in a
never
sentence.
heard of the word.
You know what my sentence would be? I do not know how to spell. La, la, la.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody. Every week, it ain't a suggestion. It's not a hint.
No,
Man,
No, it's not advice.
there's no subtle implication coming your way, y'all. It's a freaking
It's a freaking mandate, dude. You got to do it.
get out there and attempt to have the best week of your life. Again, like we told you last week, you made it to this one.
Right.
Congratulations.
You rode the heat wave, bro.
Oh, wherever you're watching this, right? So, you know, whether you were high as the mountaintops or as low as the bottom of Bayou Lafourche during the week, guess what? You made it. You made it to another week. So that's our first goal. Let's get through this next week.
Right. Second goal, you listen to this podcast and tell a few friends about it.
There you go. And we'll gather again next week and see how things went and we'll talk about the weather, I'm sure, and whether Jimmy Graham is.
Whether he's still around or he's flying high somewhere else.
I was going to say that only me and you care. Dude, there are people on the Saints that don't care. There are literally people flying on the Saints plane who don't care if Jimmy Graham.
Drew Brees stopped by practice so Jimmy could know somebody.
That's right. Hey, Drew. Back in the old days, man, when I watched that, and again, I only been to a few games, but one of the guys we sat next to all the time, that was this thing with Jimmy Graham. He's always open. He's always open. I don't think he's always open anymore.
No.
No, not exploding off the line. All right. Conversation for another day. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic week. You too, bro. Love you.
Back at you, dude. Yeah, last week we talked about ukuleles, and my granola son, the one that was living in Costa Rica, is back in town, and we had gone out to dinner for my daughter's birthday before he got here. But he's got a key to the house and everything, so it was no big deal. But you know, when we got back home, driving into the neighborhood, pull up close to my house, you know, and it's still 100-something degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking around barefoot, playing a ukulele, just strolling down the sidewalk.
That sounds like Jimmy Graham.
Dude, yeah, it could have been. I don't know. But then that night, my granddaughter, she's 15 months now, and as little kids will do, they get into the cabinets. And she pulled all kind of bowls out of the cabinet and came and was stacking them on my head. So she stacked 6 bowls on my head and then a tennis shoe that was laying around. And her mom thought that I just had really good balance, that I could hold all that up. And I said, nah, my head's just really, really big.
She's not balancing this on a thimble, babe.
Nah. It's like it's bigger than a plate.
You say, don't worry about your daughter stacking bowls. How about your your husband walking around barefoot with a ukulele outside?
Yeah. Next day I got home, he was playing the banjo.
God bless America.
It's over. Go home.